I'm Megan Fleming, and I will be giving you a tour through the teacher page, the teacher toolkit, show you how to access some content and the student settings within Study Island. So let's get started. We land on the teacher page here where we have the blue ribbon snapshot. You've got your time spent snapshot. The blue ribbon snapshot will basically give you a list of students within your class or a class that you're a co-owner of. It shows the top 5, bottom 5, just to give you kind of an idea of where your students stand. You can see the full report if you want, just to have more than the 5, but that's just kind of something that's led here for a teacher's ease, just to kind of get an idea of where their students are at currently. And then you've got your time spent snapshot. Same thing as far as like doing it by the class that you're in. Right now, these students that I have here don't have any data, so they don't have the minutes there, but you'd be able to see the week's school average for minutes. And then your admin could have set it by 30 minutes or increased it or decreased it however they'd like. The coolest thing about the teacher page is that we have this class links page. This gives you a shortcut to adding a new class, which is right here. You've got student settings, you've got a password list, parent notifications, and a reset start date. One of the biggest things I want to click on here is the student settings. This is something that is asked a lot, is how do I adjust the passing goal for my students within the blue ribbons? So my student isn't able to get the percentage correct. I want to lower that limit that's required to get that blue ribbon, or you want to increase it. That's also something that happens. You can do it by the program and by the class. So you'd go here, you can change the percentage either up or down. You can do a default count of questions or percentages, like I said. And then one is if you have a student that has a hard time focusing on their content, they see the left-hand toolbar where there's a lot of different things to access, and they're not able to just access what they need to. We'll have a case where someone needs restrict access to just the grade level that they need to work on. So say I have I'm in Bob Crane's homeroom, and I have this student, Fanny, who needs to only be on 4th grade material. She's in 4th grade. I just want her to work on 4th grade, nothing else. I would select her and restrict access to grade 4. Restrict is just only allow them to access is the way around that. And I just want her to work on 4th. So I'll do that and submit. Say I have a student that is in 6th grade, but they need 4th grade content. And it's a little tricky because you don't want to discourage them by having them work on 4th grade content while being in 6th grade. So you also have the option to hide grade level from the user. And that's really beneficial if you've got kids that need to work in that lower grade level material, but like I said, you don't want to discourage them. This also works for if you have a student who's in 5th grade and needs 8th grade content. You don't necessarily have to hide that grade level for them, but you can. And grade level just showing what content they're accessing at that point in time that you've assigned to them. Then you've got modify practice session. So if you've got students who struggle with a lot of answer choices, so the normal answer choices are 4 answer choices within a Study Island practice session, your student just gets a little overwhelmed by that, you can go in here, go into your class, and reduce the answer choices by 1. So now Tanner Albright will only get 3 questions instead of 4, or 3 answers, I apologize, instead of 4. And so that makes it a little less overwhelming for those students, and I think really helps whenever you can change that by individual student settings. Another big one that we get is the read aloud setting, which this is a really great setting for any of those students who struggle a little bit with reading. Sometimes they just understand a little bit more when they have someone else reading it to them. And so you have this option here by subject to go and turn on and off the read aloud settings. So from there, I'm logged in as an admin, so you would say back to teacher page. You'd go to the teacher page, and then we're back to where we started. So another question that we get a lot is, how do I access content to see what my students are seeing? I want to go in as them. How do I do that? So if I'm a Texas teacher and say I teach 3rd grade, I'd go over here to the left-hand toolbar underneath the teacher page. I'd go to 3rd grade content. I want to look at my kids and see what they do in math for place value. So I'd click on math and then I'd go into place value. I have the options to look at the lesson like they do, to look at the practice, game mode. I can look at the flashcards. That's where I can do some printable worksheets. I can create a group session from here as well. So that's definitely beneficial to get a first person view of what of what a student sees. Another thing I'm going to show you is the teacher toolkit. That is something here where it gives you a ton of resources in one location. So you can kind of search through here and say you want to do you want to do 2-digit numbers. So that pulls up here for 2-digit numbers. And you can kind of see a lesson plan. They have pre-assessment, example mat, independent practice, and advanced learner independent practice there. So it gives you resources if you're not really sure where to go on what material you want to teach your students. You can definitely find it there. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, you can always contact our support team here at Edmentum. And I hope you enjoyed Study Island.